Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it is such a beautiful, just very calm and peaceful Friday afternoon, and so I thought that I would film all of my videos outside today. So I'm going to film every single one of my videos outside today. It kind of makes sense when it comes to the meditation videos, but because I find the outside and by the flowers and things to be very tranquil and peaceful and serene. Maybe not so much for a drama video, but I'm going to do it today. So anyway, let's get right into these meditations. Today is the 10th, but and I did bring some meditations to read from for today that I haven't dove into yet. But there was one from the other night in my Amy Dean Nightlight book that I really wanted to read to you guys. And it was from June 8th, and I really liked this meditation. So I want to read this to you because I thought it was something that I feel like is a lesson that I have learned lately, and I also think that it is applicable to any day. So I want to read this to you guys. June 8th. This is the quote. We ought to hear at least one little song every day, read a good poem, see a first-rate painting, and if possible, speak a few sensible words. Schedules. At the end of the day, have we ever felt we've accomplished anything? Maybe we did everything according to our schedules, but were we able to take time to do the things we wanted? Dinner doesn't have to be eaten at a fixed hour. Work doesn't have to be brought home every night. Chores don't have to be done on the same night every week. A little variation in our evening schedules is healthy, especially if we need a change of pace. It will also help us unwind, center ourselves, be more alert and in touch with life rather than frantically trying to keep pace. Read a book, play a record that's been collecting dust, call a friend, write a letter, go for a walk, prepare a special dessert, take a hot, luxurious bath. We can break the weekly routine and add a new one, pampering ourselves. What can I do special for me? I can decide tonight what I'd really like to do, and then tomorrow I'll do it. And the reason why I think it's a really important meditation is because, you know, for years, I have made lists. I still make lists every single day. But, you know, I would make lists, and then it was like, I felt committed to getting this list filled by the end of the day. And even if I didn't, it'd be like, I was okay with not getting a few things done. But the way that I equated a successful day was how much did I get done? You know, how many videos did I film, and what errands did I get run, and things like that. I didn't judge it by, did I find time to watch a TV show today, or did I find time to have a conversation with a friend of mine on the phone? You know, just not even talking about deep stuff, but just relaxing and being like, hey, like, I missed you, like, what's going on, you know? Did I take time to have an ice cream cone? Did I take time to do a face mask, you know? Did I take the time to, you know, like I said, watch a TV show or read a little bit of a cozy mystery? Like, what did I take time doing, you know? How did I spend my day? Or was it all committed to becoming more and more filled with getting these obligations done? And I think over time that's kind of what happened to my life was, and you know, it's hard because so many of us have obligations that we have to get done. For those of you out there that are like, okay, this is great, Peter, and I would love to just fill my day and my evenings, you know, reading cozy mysteries and taking baths and doing face masks. But the reality is I have to pick up the kids from work or from school, and I have to make them dinner, and I have to do their homework with them, and, you know, we have to get them to bed, and then I, you know, have bills I have to do, and then I have to work that I have to bring home, or maybe I have 2 jobs, and, you know, when I get home, you know, from work, and my husband leaves, and, you know, or whatever the situation may be. And we all have so many things that we have to do, right? That I think it's important to allow ourselves even just 5 minutes throughout the day. You know, there was this meditation, I think I talked about, well, it wasn't a meditation, it was a passage in the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff book. I either talked about it in a vlog or I talked about it on a Peterisms video. It was so fantastic. The writer was talking about how, I think it was in that book, when he comes home at the end of the day, he pulls off on the road about a couple, you know, houses down and just sits for like 5 minutes in total silence or music or something, just to prepare himself for coming home, because those are the 5 minutes that he gives himself each and every single day, you know, that he just sits there in his car and just kind of relaxes to himself. And, you know, for me, sitting on this front porch has been fantastic because it's like I get to just sit in silence a lot, you know? I mean, really the only busyness that I have is when my neighbor walks by and I, you know, like, we have a conversation or something like that. But I think for each and every one of us, it's important for us to take, I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that can say that they can't take 5 minutes in their day to themselves. And if you're at a point in your life where you don't even have 5 minutes for yourself, 5 minutes, okay? To go in the bathroom and, I don't know, like, say some encouraging words to yourself and splash some water on your face before you go to bed. If you don't even have 5 minutes, you need to really probably reevaluate, you know, what's going on in your life and maybe ask for help. And because 5 minutes can change your life. I mean, it really can. You could take a 5-minute shower. You know, you can lay down 5 minutes earlier than you would in bed and listen to some peaceful music. You could just read for 5 minutes if that's something that makes you happy, or watch a show for 5 or 10 minutes. Like, 5 minutes is, I don't think, that much in the grand scheme of things. And yet, I feel like I constantly am encountering people that are like, I have no time. I have no time to myself whatsoever. I don't know, you know, I think it's important. I think the other thing that's important is you got to take care of yourself to be there for other people. You cannot be there for other people. And if you have nothing to give, you know, you have to make sure that you can, you know, it's like when I first got sober, I got a coin when I got out of treatment, and it said, I must first be a value to myself before I can be a value to others. And I think it's so true. You know, it's like, if you're going to be in a position where you're raising kids, taking care of your parents, working jobs, being of service to others, and all of that, you have to first be of service and of value to yourself. And it's not about being 100% selfish. It's literally about taking 5 minutes every single day, making a gratitude list. You know, that takes 2 minutes maybe. I mean, I do my prayers and my meditations every single night, like before I go to bed, and it literally, it astonishes me sometimes that it takes such a little amount of time, and yet there's something about it that I'm like, it interrupts my TV show watching, and I'm so resistant to it, you know what I mean? But I always feel better after I do it. So anyway, great meditation. Okay, let me read one other meditation. Let's see, what did I say today was? June 10th? Can't believe that June is just going by so fast. Okay. Well, let's read this one because I don't have any idea what this is about. June 10th. This is from the Believing in Myself Daily Meditations for Healing and Building Self-Esteem. What is our praise or pride but to imagine excellence and try to make it? Richard Wilbur. Developing healthy self-esteem means growing ever more comfortable with who we are in and out of ourselves, not how we stack up in comparison with others. The ancient Greeks, that's interesting. The ancient Greeks' concept of excellence, which they called erte, had nothing to do with superiority over others, as it does in our culture. To the Greeks, excellence was achieved when people became all they could be. Accomplishing that meant finding as many balances in life as possible. Their ideal, unlike ours, was moderation in all things. Constantly comparing and competing can be ruinous, especially as far as self-esteem goes. There will always be greater and lesser persons than ourselves, and comparisons often lead to either arrogance or bitterness. Neither unholy glee in winning nor crushing disappointment in losing promotes a realistic, balanced self-concept. What does it matter how much others do or have? If we are striving for excellence, we are winning our own race, our own opponents, our own deficiencies. To achieve excellence in my life is to achieve my own potential. I'm starting to really like this book, honestly. I really, really agree with that. And I think most people would, you know, that like when they say, oh, I'm my own competition. But let's put the lasso of truth around you a little bit, right? When you're at work, do you really feel like you're your own competition? I mean, honestly, most people. Or do you feel like you're having to measure up to other people, that maybe your supervisor likes the person that sits next to you a little bit more than you, or, you know, grants them their vacation whenever they want, but you don't get that, right? And you haven't gotten a raise in 4 years. Or even within families, you know, with siblings. Like, I don't have any siblings, but I've witnessed this my entire life with friends of mine, and, you know, whatever, it's like there always seems to be the one that, you know, I do think we put ourselves in situations of competition. I really, really do. And, you know, for me, it has always been comparing my life to other people. You know, when I got my master's degree, it was like, okay, great, I'm getting my master's degree, but 5 years later than everybody else that I went to high school with. you know, then it was like all my friends were buying $500,000 houses and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's like, what? Like, I don't have that. And even today, it's like, it's weird to me, like, when I get on Facebook and I see friends of mine that, like, their kids are graduating from high school, and it doesn't, like, there's a disconnect there for me, that I feel that my life does not match those that, where I should be, or those people that I grew up with, right? And I remember going to my high school reunion, and everybody was like so enamored with like Alex and I's life. This is my 20-year reunion, and they thought it was so cool and whatever. I was just like, my life is really pretty basic and simple. Like, and all these people think my life is so cool, you know? And then the other thing that happened was, a friend of mine, we were talking one day, and he said, you always lose, like, when you compare yourself to other people, you always lose by comparison, because you're always going to see it as you're losing. You're never going to see it as, well, like, I'm better, I'm winning at the situation, unless you're super arrogant and cocky, and then that's a downfall of its own, right? So really, we are our own competition with success. And then I think the question is, well, where do you want to be? How do you define success? How do you define happiness? Is happiness to you that, you know, you have your bills paid and you get to watch a bunch of TV shows and hang out with your, you know, because that's kind of success for me, honestly. Or is success for you that you have to have the $1 million home and, you know, all of this kind of stuff? Like, where is success for you? How do you measure it? Or is success for you that you want to make a certain athletic team, or you want to get cast in a play, or you want to get into law school, you know? Like, those are all, I think, great measures of success as well. And fair measures of success, you know? I don't think there's anything wrong with how we measure success, but I think we have to know, what is my own measure of success and what's it going to take for me to get there, and then start doing it. Anyway, I thought those were great meditations today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I can say that because I didn't write them. So it's not like I'm patting myself on my own back, you know what I mean? Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.